So again, our topic for today is landslide susceptibility mapping using INSAR and GIS techniques. It is an overview of the Brisina area in Ethiopia by Solomon G. Cherry and Nathaniel Agignehu. So let's proceed to the background of this study. So we all know that landslide is used to describe various processes that result in detectable downslope and outward flow of a slope material under, such as soil, rock, and vegetation by gravitational influence. And the materials might be moved by falling, sliding, spreading, toppling, or flowing. And this so-called landslide can be triggered by natural cause or man-made changes in the environment. There are many causes of a landslide, but in this case, they classify the main causes into two. The first one is the inherent reason of slope failure. Ito yung failure pagdating sa slope, such as the weakness in geological composition or also sa geological structure within the rock or soil na nakapaligid dito. And then the second one is the external triggering mechanism. But this was considered na ng mga researcher ang mga natural phenomena such as rainfall, earthquake, or volcanic activity, also the snow melting and the change in groundwater level. And also one part is the human activity na meron within the area in that place. Now, the general background. So, the survey are located in central Ethiopia and it is frequently affected by natural hazards such as flash flood and geomorphic process by a soil and sand and many more that move downslope typically as a solid mass largely under the force of gravity. And in addition to that, landslide of different types which frequently lead to eviction of population and damage to housing, infrastructure, and vast area of the land suitable for growing crops and death of human lives and recurrently observed. So what happened to Ethiopia really destroy a lot of infrastructures and ganun din yung maraming buhay yung nasawi during that time na nagkaroon ng landslide. And most of the landslide in those area, including the major ones, ay talagang nag-cause ng substantial rainfall and spring due to the groundwater rise. Sobrang tumaas yung tubig. And in addition with that, the earthquake triggered slope failures which results in rock slides. The toppling and the rock falls are reported by various workers within that area na nagtatrabaho that time. And even if various investigations have been carried out by the Brisina area, the author utilizes INSAR and the GIS techniques to investigate what happened that time in Ethiopia, the landslide, and all the occurrence in that region. Also, based on the local terrain situation, the likelihood of landslide occurring in a region is referred as landslide susceptibility, or what we call the LS. To predict the future landslide of an area, it is very essential to map the previous and the current landslide occurring in a projected area. In this case, the surveyors conducted a susceptibility investigation of the known landslide happening in the Brisina area. So with that, rendering to the degree or the transference of the actual or potential threat of the landslide susceptibility zonation indicates to the division, nagkaroon ng division within the land in homogeneous region and also sa domain within that area in Ethiopia. So after that, they assess a disaster phenomenon that can be presumed to be an important technique for landslide susceptibility mapping, for them also to develop a mitigation or a plan for them to pick up a more suitable location for the construction of the cartographic result of the landslide susceptibility, and para rin magamit for the modeling also. And also, the GIS or the Geographic Information System had create a powerful capability. It is a technique na for them to deal with enormous volume of spatial data. So, landslide susceptibility believed to be analyzed by using effective or spatial analyzing tools. So many geographic information system based had been approached for them to develop a well
Good day
assessment of
everyone, I'm Justin
landslide
James Reines.
susceptibility.
I'm going to discuss the statement of the problem of this research, which includes the major objectives of the study and also the approach used in this study. The major objectives of the study is to process multi-temporal SAR images using INSAR techniques for landslide mapping, also to investigate and delineate landslide susceptibility area using GIS techniques and compare landslide results from INSAR and GIS techniques. SAR means synthetic aperture radar, and GIS is called geographic information. Next is I'm going to discuss the methodology of the research. So it includes the data sources and acquisition techniques. In this study, all pertinent data were collected from primary and secondary sources by using direct and intensive field observation. So, gumamit din ng GPS primary data to collect yung secondary data such as yung mga soil, yung DEM and Landsat image para sa GIS and INSAR purposes to para malagay sa isang table. So dito sa methodology, may napapaloob ng mga software instruments na ginamit pa sa approach na katulad ng INSAR at GIS. Isa dito ay yung SARPROS software, which is a powerful software used to process and analyze SAR data and generate products of digital elevation model, or yun yung tinatawag na DEM. Yun yung surface deformation maps, para malaman yung surface deformation maps, and mabigay din yung choice to integrate this information with other geospatial products, or yung pwede rin siya katulad sa GIS or sa para ma-compare sa INSAR. So yung SAPROS ay kino-convert yung data sa isang meaningful context na contextual information.
Good day everyone, I am John Paul Ronquillo. For the conclusion of the research or the article that we have given, we have studied. So for the conclusion, landslide susceptibility mapping provides fundamental information for hazard assessment and monitoring strategies. In mountainous area like Debrecina, direct ground-based landslide triggering factor mapping and evaluation is expensive and virtually impossible within a short period of time. To resolve such limitation, INSAR and GIS technique provide powerful alternatives for detecting, identifying, and monitoring landslide and related triggering factors. So, dahil nga itong Debrecina, Ethiopia ay masyado siyang prone sa landslide. So, at yung ground-based landslide ay na mapping ay masyadong mahal. Kaya, itong dalawang paraan natin ito ay ang INSAR and GIS technique, yung system aperture radar, kung saan gumagamit lang tayo ng mga tools, software, at saka mga geodetic technologies. Napakaganda ng approach na ginawa nila dito kasi makita natin na maraming damage yung landslide sa mga population sa crops nila, at sa housing, sa lahat ng mga infrastructure. Dahil mahina nga yung foundation ng lupa, nag-isip sila ng tool na kung saan makapadali yung landslide mapping. Dahil nga mountainous itong Debrecina area, so yung landslide mapping na mano-mano ay masyadong delikado kasi yung mga tao ay pupunta pa sa isang lugar na delikado, yung slope ng lugar ay masyadong malalim, madalas silang mapahamak. Ito yung dalawang tool nila, yung INSAR and GIS technique. INSAR, Interferometry Synthetic Aperture Radar. So, gumagamit sila ng 2-star images. Itong images na to, kinocompare nila para makita nila yung traces ng landslide, mga current and previous landslide, at yung mga ipipredict na landslide ulit sa future. Ito namang Geographic Information System o yung GIS techniques. So, ito yung ginagamit nila yung volume ng spatial na kung saan galing din sa satellite, makikita nila yung mga slope ng lupa. Makikita nila dito yung mga weak foundation kung saan may mga legend lang. May legend yung mga slope na mahina yung lupa, ang foundation. Meron silang iba-ibang kulay. So, ang 6 control factors naman sa pagmamap ng landslide, ito yung slope, elevation, soil, and VDI, distance from stream feature, and road feature. So, ito yung 6 na factors na to. Ito yung ginamit nila para mamap yung landslide. Kung saan ay nagkalagay sila sa mga high points, sa mga prone landslide points ng mga handheld GPS para naman malaman nila yung traces ng landslide ng previous and current landslide. So, the final landslide susceptibility map clearly depicts 4 classes of low, moderate, high, and very high landslide vulnerable areas. So, yung map ay mayroon siyang low, moderate, high, and very high landslide vulnerable areas. Since the Brisina area is characterized by steep slope and high elevation, approximately 41% of the survey area is affected with landslide geohazard. So, ibig sabihin, kung isosolve natin doing math calculations, 41% daw ng area na yon ay masyado siyang affected ng landslide. So, ibig sabihin, masyadong delikado yung lugar. Kaya need ng tool na kung saan mas madali at mas mabilis ang pag-map ng landslide. The resulting landslide map was validated using our index method, which is simple. This was prepared using GPS points as inventory data. Unfortunately, most of selected sample points were put on places which are very high or highly prone to landslide. In most cases, researchers argue that INSAR and GIS could be used for landslide mapping together or separately. So, pagtapos mo na mamap yung mga landslide, i-validate pa siya using our index method. So, isa rin siyang tool kung masasabi natin na accurate ba yung landslide mapping na yun. At prepared din siya using GPS points as inventory data. Sabi nga, mayroon silang mga hawak na handheld GPS na magta-track kung yung lugar ba ay prone sa landslide. PS-INSAR or Advanced D-INSAR is also the most important techniques for landslide displacement mapping in this project. SARPRO's software, which is installed by permission, is utilized for analysis of SAR images. So, ito yung mga software na ginamit nila, mga application sa computers. Ito yung SARPROS, kung saan ito yung nag-utilize na maka-analyze siya ng mga SAR images. Siya yung nagde-detect at nagbibigay ng result. So, based sa overall output na ginawa ng article na ito, masasabi natin parehong may advantage yung yung tool na mas mapapadali yung mga pag-map ng landslides. So, for our recommendation from this work, we strongly suggest that for real or quantifying mapping, INSAR method is more robust, whereas for simple susceptibility zoning, GIS is dependable technique. So makikita rin natin na itong interferometry synthetic aperture radar ay mas okay siya gamitin kaysa dito sa GIS technique. Kasi itong INSAR, kahit na anong weather, nakaka-read siya ng ano, ng mapping ng landslide. Kahit cloudy pa yan, rainy, yun lang, masyado siyang dependent naman yung GIS technique. Dapat yung weather ay isa lang, like maayos na panahon, maaraw, ganun. Kaya mas okay pa rin na gamitin itong insert method sa pagmamap ng landslide.